Hey you guys, welcome back to my new channel. Today I'm going to give you 7 tips to help you stay on track with your nutrition while still enjoying all of your summer travels and trips that you have. We are so excited for summer break around this house. We're literally counting down the days, but we actually started summer a little bit early. We went on our first ever cruise. It was so much fun. We went on a Disney cruise, and you guys know we're big Disney fans. We had the annual pass. We take the kids probably like once a quarter. We love it, but we've never tried a cruise, let alone a Disney cruise, but we just have heard so many good things about it and about their private island, and we're like, okay, we want to try it. We got Michael's family on board to come with us, so we had a big group of us. We all went. It was like a quick 3-day cruise, but I really wanted to figure out how to dial in my nutrition because I do have a lot of trips coming up this summer. And instead of feeling like, well, I can't stick with my nutrition goals, I can't stick with my plans and my habits because I have travel or because we're going out to eat or because we have celebrations, so I might as well just give up. I really wanted to let go of that mentality this year, that all or nothing mentality, and get to a place where I'm enjoying my trips. I'm not thinking about food. I'm not thinking about my body. I'm just enjoying my trips. I'm having fun, but I'm fueling myself properly. I've spent probably the past year navigating this and figuring it out, and I have 7 tips that have been game changer for me, that have really truly helped. A few of them are ones that you may have not heard before that are really hopefully gonna like I said, be a game changer for you and really change the way you look at travel and your outlook on just kind of having this balanced lifestyle. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you're new, please subscribe. This is my new channel. I put out videos every single Monday, and make sure you're notified. Turn the little bell on so you get notified every time I upload and you are like the first person to see it. I'll be replying to comments today. If you're watching this in real time and you are watching this on Monday and you have questions about the Disney cruise, or you want to review, or you want to hear more about our trip, head on over to my Instagram. I'll be doing a Q&A today and you can input your question and I'll be sharing all day. But if you're not watching this in real time and you still want to see, I will save it to a highlight bubble called Disney Cruise. On there, you'll be able to see all the stories that I put up during the trip, but also I'll save that Q&A on there too if you have any questions. But just a little like sneak peek. We absolutely loved it, and we have already like put a deposit down on our next one. We had so much fun. So my first tip, and this is something that I would have never done previously, but has unexpectedly changed everything for me, and that is to properly fuel and nourish my body for weeks, months before the trip. What I noticed is that if I try to I would say maybe bank my food, or I'm gonna try to be really good or really strict. That way when I go on the cruise, I can just overindulge and enjoy everything without feeling that guilt. It doesn't work that way. First of all, your hunger cues are gonna get all messed up. Your hormones are gonna get all messed up, all the things. So just eat in a way that you're maintaining your body, you're nourishing your body. Eat properly, eat whole foods, eat real foods, eat nutritiously, eat what makes you feel your best and stick to that before your trip. That helped me so much. Going into my trip, I did not feel like I need to eat all the food and try all the things. I did not feel like binging. I did not feel like overindulging. I also didn't feel like just an overwhelming sense of hunger. That's something I've really noticed within the past few months of properly fueling my body and fueling my workouts, is my hunger cues are on track. I go to bed feeling really good. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel just like I overdid it for the day. So that's something that really helped me. Properly fueling before your trip. Step 2 is to plan. And for me, this is the fun part. I am kind of a little bit of a control freak, and I also just love to plan. I love to kind of know what to expect if I can. And I know that all travel is different and all trips are different, but I thought a cruise would be a really great time to kind of test out these tips because number one, with cruises, it's all inclusive. So the food is just everywhere all the time. So I did not want to go into this without a plan. I wanted to figure out, okay, what type of healthy options are there? What type of protein options are there? Where would I be able to go to find food and find meals that nourish my body and make me feel my best. And also, what treats or like specialty things do I want to indulge in? So what I did was I basically YouTubed. I YouTube a bunch of videos on our cruise, on our trip, what people are eating and where they're going, what restaurants they liked, all that stuff. So I kind of had in the back of my mind, here's what I'm gonna get for breakfast, here's what I'm gonna do for lunch, here's a couple of options for dinner that I'm thinking through, and here are a few treats that I really do wanna test out and try out, and here are a few that like, I think I could skip, right? So I had so much fun doing this. It got me excited for my trip. We learned all about like the ship and where things were, and like the kids even had fun like planning out the trip too. So that's something I really recommend is planning. But like I said, I know each trip is different and you're gonna have different things available to you. So like I said, with the cruise, everything's all inclusive, but at the same time, it's not your normal foods from home and you can't really bring food onto a cruise. So I know a lot of times when you see videos like this, people are like, well, just pack ahead and make your food and bring it and just heat it up in the microwave. And it's like, that was not a possibility. The only things that you could bring on this cruise were like pre-packaged, like sealed processed food. You really just had to eat what was there for the most part. I was able to bring on supplements and like some bars. That was pretty much it because they were individually packaged and sealed and wrapped. So it was really testing me on, can I find this balance where I'm enjoying myself, but I'm also nourishing my body in a way that makes me feel really good and makes my mind feel really good. Because for me, like eating properly and eating in a way that makes me feel good mentally helps me to be a better mom, helps me to be a better spouse, helps me to have more energy and have more fun. Like I want to be present and enjoying the trip with my kids. And if I'm overindulging in everything, my stomach starts to hurt, my head starts to hurt, I feel lethargic, all the stuff. So we had so much fun planning for the trip in advance. All right, and the next tip is going to seem obvious, but it is truly so helpful. And I want you to plan and prepare ahead of time for this because it's going to really set your day up for success and set your trip up for success and have you feeling your best. And that is getting in your water, staying hydrated. Bring your favorite cup with you. I love Hydro Jug because it doesn't leak and this fits 40 ounces. So I fill this up 2 or 3 times a day. I throw in a Redmond Relight electrolyte pack. Those are my favorite. I'll link both those things below. But especially if you're going somewhere like tropical and hot, like we did in the Bahamas, you need to be rehydrating, get your minerals, get your salt, get your potassium, get your hydration back in. So I throw those packets into my water. I filled this cup up like first thing in the morning and I'm just sipping on it throughout the day. Also, the electrolytes taste really good, so it makes you feel like you're kind of having something good. And I did go into this trip talking about our last point. I planned on maybe having like a pina colada or like a margarita, but I ended up not drinking at all. And that's just the kind, I just didn't really have a want for it, so I didn't do it. Like if you're not feeling excited about it and you're not like craving it and you're not really wanting it, don't indulge just to indulge. Really wasn't feeling it, so I didn't have it. I just stuck with water. I did have some Diet Cokes. That's like my guilty pleasure. And it was free and it was like included, you know, in the package. So I did have a couple Diet Cokes. I stuck with my water, a couple Diet Cokes, a coffee in the morning, and I was good. But staying hydrated is really going to help you in terms of, for some reason, me, whenever I travel, I get a headache. My head hurts. I just am off my routine. Water is going to help that. Another thing I'm off my routine, digestion. I don't need to get too TMI, but if you know, you know, and if you have problems when you travel, what's going to help with that? Water. Tons and tons of water. It's also going to help so that when you come back home, you're not feeling like lethargic and like weighed down and bloated. Water is going to help with all that. So stick to as much water as you can. Next up, when this comes to your meals, try to prioritize 2 things. Protein and vegetables. So I'll be inserting B-roll of our trip and of the meals that I had and the meals that I ordered throughout this video so that you guys can see. But I truly prioritized my protein and my veg. So like I said, I planned out kind of what I was gonna get for each meal. So we went to the buffet in the morning. I'd have a coffee, I'd have a water, and then I tried to do like an egg white omelet. So good. If you're in a rush, like they did have just like regular scrambled eggs, but I did do the omelet one morning and that was so good. I added a ton of veggies in there. It really helped me to kind of get my day started on the right foot. I really try to like front load my protein and my fiber. So veggies and protein first thing in the morning. I also did bring my individual packets of protein powder and I made a quick protein shake in the morning in our room just with like water, or you can mix it in with coffee, and I just kind of like down that super quick just to get my protein in right away. Typically have that post-workout, even though I wasn't working out, I still stuck with that. Really, really helps with satiety, really helps with cravings, really helps with just like energy and muscle building and all of that. And so what I did was really focused on protein. So I had my protein shake first thing, went into breakfast. I did some form of eggs or egg whites. I did turkey bacon. I did yogurt. I'm trying to think what else I did for breakfast. You'll see the videos. That's kind of what I did. And I did have some carbs. So we did some oatmeal, or we can do toast. One morning I did a churro Mickey waffle, which we had to special order. Oh my gosh, it was the best thing I had on this entire trip. And it was something that I really, really wanted. And I planned in advance. I knew I was gonna be having it, and like it hit the spot. It was so good. I'm dreaming about it. I literally, like, it was so good. So I had one, it was so good. My kids loved it. Oh, I'm dreaming about it. Perfect little treat. Give me some carbs, load me up. I did not feel guilty about it. I did not feel like yucky about it. I felt good. I needed some carbs, and that was perfect. And it was so delicious, and I loved it. Moving into lunch, again, prioritize protein and vegetable. And I, of course, also have carbs. Carbs are what really gives you energy and fuels you. I noticed that for me on this trip, my carbs were kind of coming from the treats. I wasn't tracking, by the way. I wasn't tracking anything on this trip. I was just kind of being mindful in my head. So for lunch, again, we did the buffet. It was really close to the pool, was really easy to get to. And their buffet is like out of this world. And talk about like any healthy option that you wanted, they had it. Amazing peel and eat shrimp. That was like my go-to. Their peel and eat shrimp was so fresh and so good. I loaded up on that. And I don't know, something about like eating fish when you're on a tropical vacation just is like a vibe to me. So I did that. I did the crab legs. I did like a fresh, like kind of garden salad with grilled chicken on top. And that's pretty much what I had for lunch 2 of the days. And then one day we were on the island, and they kind of just had a few things to choose from, and I picked the burger, and it was delicious. And we did a 5K on the island, and the burger fueled me after that 5K, and it was so good. Loved that. I shared it with Rocco, and we both chowed down on that burger. That was so good. So I didn't like freak out. If they didn't have something, I didn't freak out. I just chose the best possible option, or I decided it was a time to indulge in something that I think sounded really good. I love burgers, so I had that day. And for dinner on this cruise, there's like a few different restaurants, and you rotate between them, and they like kind of tell you which one to go to. And those are like kind of what's included with the cruise. And so pretty much what I did, again, was stuck to protein and veg. So for protein, I did the steak 2 nights, and then what did I do? Chicken 1 night. So that's what I did. It came with a side of veg, and it came with a side of potatoes pretty much every night. That was perfect for me. It was really well balanced. It had my protein, my carbs, my fat, and that's what I did. I stuck with that. And then dessert is included. So I did choose a dessert each night. I tried a bite or 2 of each of them. Some were good, some were so I didn't end up really finishing it. I just kind of tried a bite, and then that made me feel good, and that was it. So if there's something that like I'm not craving or I'm not dying for, I'm not overindulging just to overindulge because I'm on vacation and because it's free or all-inclusive. Not that it's free, but you know what I mean. Okay, my next tip is one of those ones that I don't know if you've heard a million times that will really help you and really helped me in terms of satiety, in terms of being mindful, in terms of not feeling like I wasn't in control and like I was just grasping for food all day. And that was having my first meal be on track with my goals. So I mentioned earlier what my first meal was, but I really prioritized that meal in terms of like loading up on my protein, loading up on my fiber, getting in good carbs. All those things help me feel my best and help set my day up for success. I feel like you hear a lot of people say that when it just comes to, you know, healthy eating or wellness in general, but you don't hear that a lot about vacations. And that really, really helped me, along with the like eating well before my trip, but even just like really zooming in and eating well in the morning just helped so much with cravings and just that, like I said, I felt in control. Like there's food everywhere, and I did not feel like I need to try blah, blah, blah. I didn't feel like that. I felt like, oh, well, that looks good, or oh, I could skip that, you know? And so that really, really helped me to stay on track, is to have that first meal in the morning just be like a powerhouse meal where you get all your nourishment in, you really nourish your body, you really fuel your body properly, and you feel good. And it will also help turn your mindset on to where you're like already choosing the right choice first thing in the morning. It's easier to keep making the right choice if you start your day up like that. And that brings me into my last tip. Perfection is not the goal. It is not going to happen, and it is okay. So it goes back to this kind of underlying theme that I've had throughout this video, where for me, when it comes to traveling, it's not going to be out of my life. Like, traveling is something that I'm gonna have to learn to live with. I'm gonna have to learn to be able to not be on my routine, but still stick to my habits that make me feel my best. So how am I gonna do that without having this like mental pressure of being perfect or like nailing it every single day? Because you're not on your routine. You're not at home. You don't have access to all the foods you normally would, or all the equipment you normally would when you work out, or all the downtime. Like, you know, I'm with all my family. I don't have that time where like Rocco's with Michael or Julian's at school and I have time to like sit down and have some time for myself. I don't have that on a trip. So how can I make the best of it? How can I focus on hitting my goals and hitting my needs while not having this expectation of perfection, and also not feeling guilty or feeling mad at myself for not being perfect? So I really went into it with this mindset of, I'm gonna stick to it as much as I can. I'm gonna create some rules for myself. I'm gonna create some habits for myself, but I'm not gonna be perfect, and that's okay. Everything's gonna be fine when I get home. So perfection is not the goal. I want you to go on all of your trips this summer and have fun, enjoy what you wanna enjoy, get right back on track when you get home. Prioritize some of those habits, some of those things that make you feel really good during your travels. I feel that it's totally possible to enjoy your trip, enjoy treats, enjoy fun things, and still prioritize nutrition, hydration, goals, habits, all of those things. It just takes a little planning and prepping beforehand. And like I said, the main thing, like my number one thing, is nourish your body beforehand so your hunger cues are on point, so your cravings are on point, so your hormones are on point, and you go into it feeling really, really good. If you have any questions or anything you want to share, please let me know down below in the comments. Again, don't forget to subscribe. This is my new channel you're watching. I post new videos every Monday. I don't want you to miss one, so make sure you turn those notifications on so you get notified like right when I upload. And of course, if you wanted to hear more about our cruise, you can check out my Instagram. The highlight bubble will be called Disney Cruise. Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.